innovation. We're talking blockchain and crypto. It's not a bad conversation. Open your ears and you listen to get in touch with the message. We're talking Africa, right? Get to the heart of the masses. Engaging youth with a passion. From you discover the wisdom. The next Satoshi inspire. Create the difference with Bitcoin, yeah. Hello to the Altbloc community and welcome to the Alttalk show. Hello guys, welcome to the Alttalk show, and on this episode we have with us a very renowned personality here in Tlemcen, Algeria, and yeah, he's actually a student who participates in financial businesses. And as we said, it's a platform where we try to, open our minds to people like this, influencers in the financial industry, and to peek into their brains a bit on their, point of views generally around the crypto industry. So, Mr. Collins, you're very welcome on this episode.
Thank you so much.
And thank you very much. I'll actually let you introduce yourself properly so that the audience actually knows who is here with us.
Okay, I'm so simple. Collins from Kenya. It is good to just identify my nationality for other purposes. I'm so proud as a Kenyan. I deal with international transfers here and there. Whether small or big, it's okay. We can just sort it out. And it has been an honor, but a rough journey. And I'm so happy. The Almighty has given me the opportunity, the knowledge to be participating on all this. And so far, so good. I can't complain. It's just good. La vie est belle.
La vie est belle. That's great. Actually, you've made mention that you're from Kenya, which is a beautiful one. So, which means you are a pioneer in Africa, so to say, in terms of entrepreneurial acts. You said you perform transfers between countries in Africa or outside Africa.
We perform transactions from anywhere. Russia, including. Yeah, there's Russia, there is India, there is everywhere in Africa. Generally, we can just move money anywhere.
That's great. So, which means you've been able to establish a network of moving money. That's the idea. So, which means, would you call that an innovation or just an entrepreneurial act? Would you say that's a difficult thing to do for anyone?
When I started, it was not easy, but right now I can just say it is more like thinking out of the box and taking a risk where people expect less opportunities from. Yeah,
that's actually great. The idea of taking a risk. That's actually something we can look into slightly, because generally in everything we do in life, I believe
it is a risk.
It's actually
even breathing is risk.
So now, deciding to actually go into transfers, or before I even go so in depth into your business model, what's actually your business? What's the name of your business? Name of your business brand?
Okay. In the past I used to like the branding of Fandine as a trader because I was mainly a forex trader. Okay. Even though I was doing small scale transfers, but over time I saw like the transferring, it is offering more service to the people, giving back to the society, and establishing the trust with people. But in the forex, it is you and your phone and the internet, so you are not really changing anything to those around you. So I decided to switch to most of my time I'm spending on transfers and everything as a relating with people and all that. And it has been good. It is Wall Street Transfers.
Wall Street Transfers, okay. So the name of the brand is Wall Street Transfers. So I guess in times to come, I hope to see wallstreettransfer.com or Wall Street Transfers application we are using performing transactions. So because personally, I want to see transactions, between countries simplified for myself also. And that's a good thing. And you also made mention of, your experience with Forex. For those of us who don't understand what Forex is, can you elaborate a bit what exactly is Forex?
The Forex. At least the Forex is something that can give you a lot of money and can make you poor within seconds.
You mean like Forex trading or Forex as a concept?
Forex trading.
Okay.
But Forex as a concept is the exchange of international currencies.
Okay.
Maybe let me use Kenya. Kenya is the Kenyan shilling, against the dollar.
Okay.
At times the dollar will be getting stronger. Automatically the Kenyan shilling will be getting weaker.
Okay.
So you can leverage yourself if you know upfront.
Okay.
And use that one.
Okay.
To get some money out of it.
So you mean the concept of now trading is, leveraging between the price differences when
exactly
a particular currency is weak and another currency is stronger.
Yeah.
Capitalizing on those differences.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can be trading on an open chart using the previous resistance, the resistance and the support. Like if it is in a range, it can be playing around. And if maybe there are news or anything extraordinary, it breaks out and all that. So those ones will be catching you off guard unless you know the bias of the news. Then you can leverage yourself against the market.
I see. Okay, so it's about also looking at sentiments too. So
you have always to be keeping track of news from the US, those big countries that influence the global stability of the.
I see. Okay, I wouldn't want to incentivize people to be traders right from the start or right from the get-go, because right now you're saying it from the point of view of an experienced, individual who has already been able to establish your strategy, so to say, in trading, right?
Yeah.
And you already know your way around, even getting the right news and
Yeah, the websites to visit and all that.
Yeah,
we can actually share some of them maybe in our description.
I used to come across there's Daily FX.
Yeah.
They usually put in webinars to teach guys on how to understand how to read the market, because that's the most important thing in forex. I think if anyone should get anything about studying forex or understanding forex is so you can know how to read the market, or how to interpret the economical change, so to say, in price charts.
Yeah, and the top-down analysis stuff. When you have the chart, the forex chart, most of the time it is advisable to use it when you're using the candlestick. Yeah, because with the candlestick you can know where the price started, and how far it went up, down, and where it closed. Like the range that it played within a certain duration of time. So in case you're using maybe the daily time frame, it will show you where it started. If it went up, it will show you maybe as a straight line, went down and closed somewhere. So if the week is just the movement that is out of the expectation, the opening and the closing. The week is the projection that it traveled to within that same duration. But it didn't stay there for long. Yeah, it closed within this range. So at the end of the day, you will be having knowledge on how to analyze depending on the type of candlesticks that were formed. Yeah. And there's the bears, the bulls. That
Those
one is maybe a topic for another day, because I can
stay all day and try, because basically understanding the forex market takes more than a few hours. It takes years, it takes months, years, to understand the concept and then be successful in understanding the concepts practically. So he's saying these things from experience. I'm sure if you would actually want to get a more in-depth knowledge, you can definitely contact him. I'll leave his contact, or we'll leave his contact details in the description to contact him personally to give you some more practical knowledge and some personal one-on-one coaching, so to say, on his strategies. So now moving on to how were you able to, or why did you decide to actually go for forex? What was your reason?
My motivation first, when I came to Algeria, it was foreign. Back in Kenya, I used to deal with the transport. So back
you're in
Kenya,
the transport business in Kenya.
Exactly.
That's good. I mean, so you are actually you have a passion for business.
I'm an entrepreneur. I know we are chasing the degrees, the papers, but bottom line is, after this, we'll keep the papers aside for 10 years. We go into business, and then maybe, inshallah, we will get back to the papers and get some big offices.
That's great. We're going to touch on that, your transport business back in Kenya, but you can elaborate on how you were able to decide to go into forex.
So over here, when I first came here, I was so restricted. The environment was not so conducive, because I came from a point of I was making my own money to relying on my parents to send for me money. So there was this limit cap of the maximum I can get is what my parents have just sent me. And then from there it is going down this way. And every time I spend more money, I get stressed because my money is finishing. So I had to think out of the box. And then I came across one of the Zimbabwean guys here. He became a friend. and he was doing forex, but for him it is as if he had paid someone to teach them. So when I tried approaching him so that he can teach me as well, he was like, no, I paid, so you have to pay. Yeah, and I was like, maybe I can look into this thing. Yeah, and curiosity began. Yeah,
So,
but I didn't go the paying way. I went the rough way of looking for material by myself. It takes time. Yeah, it was draining.
I see. So that's actually really a good way. So you mean curiosity, out of curiosity, and a hunger to learn, a hunger for knowledge. You found your way around understanding the market, and then you were able to see that it could be profitable for you, and you took a step into action, taking action.
Exactly.
And there's one thing that it's actually not as profitable as people paint it to be in terms of forex trading. It's not as profitable. Would you beg to differ? Would you say that's actually not true? Like in the fact of saying that trading forex is not profitable.
Trading forex is about killing your emotions.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you least expect it, that is when there is a higher probability. When you most expect it, it will always kill you. Yeah, well, because when you're expecting it, you involve the human feelings and the emotions, and you get blinded. Maybe you have all the analysis, you have everything, but the last minute just before execution, maybe you overlook something because of getting emotional and tense. You're like, maybe I'm going to miss this opportunity, and you get fucked up. Yeah, you just trade against it, or it trades against you. Yeah.
That's wild. That concept of emotions, I mean, it applies to everything we do in life, in fact.
Exactly.
In fact, from my little research around the forex industry, and people talking so much on emotions, keeping still in times of highs and in times of low. It applies, even I see that those principles apply generally in everything we do, in everything we create, or every business we participate in. And then coming or trickling down into a bit of your past, which you made mention of, your entrepreneurial past, where you said you were in a transportation business. What was your experience like in that sector?
I was making a lot of money for someone who had just gotten out of school.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is more like you just need a small capital, or at times no capital. Just placing yourself in the right center where there is a buyer and a seller, or someone who is in need of something. You just go and look for it, you deliver to them, you make a big difference. Yeah, in terms of the money. You buy cheap, you sell high.
I see.
In short, I was doing forex, but now in the transport
business.
Yeah.
That's transportation of goods. That's like logistics or something.
Yeah, and also buying from maybe farmers and delivering to the people who need it. If you deliver in maybe the cities and towns, it will be a little bit higher. Yeah.
Okay, price.
So the difference will make some income for you.
That's really great. I mean, how did you get into thinking of that idea, or deciding to do that? And in fact, most people might complain, especially in these parts, third world countries. They might complain of getting a startup capital or an initial capital. What was your experience like with raising capital to go into such a business?
Okay, I would say maybe I didn't have a lot of problem, but I guess an entrepreneur, some people might argue that entrepreneur maybe they are born, but some entrepreneurs are made, because it is the conducive environment of my dad, my uncle, all of them. They're just entrepreneurs. So you have to learn what do they do to make money. And I had to compare. My mom is a teacher and my dad is a businessman. So at the end of the day, my dad maybe in the evening will come, today I made just 5,000. Tomorrow I made 20,000. Today I lost 5,000. But at the end of the month, when you compare the amount that he has touched and also made out of the circulation, and my mom who is waiting for something stable from the government, maybe 30,000, 35, you see there is a big difference. So I was more curious about learning how to just be moving money, whether I made a loss today, tomorrow inshallah maybe I'll get something out of it. Yeah,
that's great. Great.
I had to look around that and experience it in the real life.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
In your past experiences, were you able to see the impact of technology in your business or in your entrepreneurial act? Is any small way like business help? What can you itemize like that technology played a role, so to say, in your transactions?
Okay, I will start from the transport.
Okay.
Yeah, at times when you're delivering to the clients, they would request for WhatsApp pictures and everything. Yeah, like they want to be assured you have the quality and the packaging and everything you sent to them. That was the transport before I came to Forex. In Forex, I came in Algeria. It is somehow enclosed economy.
Okay.
So getting money in and out of the country is so hectic. Yeah, it is tiresome. And after I learned the Forex, after staying on the demo for so long, you need to make real money. You feel like a real man, eh? You feel good.
Yeah.
So I had to look for a way to deposit, and that is when actually I had to think harder than even getting the basic Forex. Because you have to deposit to the broker so that you can trade maybe from the MetaTrader or just live on their, what are they called?
Was price chart?
Yeah, the price chart, and maybe on their sites.
Okay.
Yeah, because some of them they support trading,
Live trading on the
trading.
site.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the broker's site.
Yeah.
I see.
So you have to deposit to them. But getting money from here to online, it was so tiresome, a lot of charges and all that.
So if I might get you clear, you mean converting fiat currency into digital currency?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Dinars into maybe dollars or euros online.
Okay.
It became the second problem now. I already have the knowledge. I want to now try life.
Okay.
But that one also gave me some hindrance for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah. So I had a second problem to start solving. Yeah, over time I got someone who could do it for me, but I was curious how they were able to do that. And yet it was somehow almost impossible for most of the people. Yeah. So that one also gave me motivation and planted the seed to starting transfers. Yeah.
Which gave birth to Wall Street transfers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. So which means you are able to, from your problem, from trying to solve your personal problem in terms of trying to convert fiat currencies into digital currencies, you thought of an idea of
actually being part of the people will be transferring money,
solve that same problem. Because obviously, like you said, in a place like Algeria, which is a closed economy, it's very difficult to convert or transfer or transform physical cash into digital cash.
Exactly.
And you have been able to draft out a network or build a business plan or build a business around that, so to say, as an entrepreneur. Which, so for me personally, I see that as an innovation, in a place, even if in other economies or other places, it might be something that's easy or simple to get by, but living in Algeria, studying in Algeria, and actually experiencing the problem myself, of trying to convert physical cash into digital cash, it is a problem here, and you're able to solve that problem, and that makes you an innovator. And you should actually own that, and respect the fact that you should actually respect the fact that you're actually able to solve that problem for no matter how little the number of people are that you solve that problem for. It means a lot, and I hope to see it grow into bigger things. And now looking at technology and the impact of technology, where you even mentioned the technology of social media helping in your transportation business, because transportation is about connections, getting to the right people and interacting with them, seamlessly and speed, so to say. And now coming to for the Forex aspect here in Algeria.
Yes.
And how you were able to use technology to speed up your transaction business, your transfer business, how did that work? Is it like trying to how are you actually able to solve the problem in because I'm trying to think about it, but it's kind of difficult to think about how you actually ended up solving the problem.
Yeah, so to some extent you have to take risk in the least expected places. Yeah, so there's this thing, the crypto stuff. Yeah, it has been tricky. Most of the people, they get scammed. Of course, I'm not different. I also got scammed. Yeah, so, okay, when I was starting Forex as well, I got some people who were promising some good fruits. You invest maybe 100, 150, within maybe a few days it is 2,000, 24 hours. Hey, those things are scam now. Please don't fall for them. I have already fallen for them. Yeah, so Yeah, the first one did it to me, and they were like, "Hey, you have to add more money so that you get to withdraw." I was like, "No, from the profit, take whatever you want and then sell me the rest." Well, they refused. Okay, I said, let me just stop with this one. Second one. Hey, I saw all of them. They have the same similarities. Yeah, everyone, you have to add some more so that they send to you. But if you send, you have to still keep on sending. So I just decided, okay, this crypto, it is curious because even I can't track the people I was sending money to. Get it?
Exactly.
Yeah, like yes, I paid to them. They were promising they would pay me back. We just communicate through websites and stuff. So when I narrowed down, I saw it as an opportunity because it is as if you go incognito. Yeah, and I guess that is one of the best things.
So now you mean
incognito.
So you mean you made mention of cryptocurrencies, and so you're trying to say the idea of blockchain, or the idea of the technology that cryptocurrency uses, or even cryptocurrencies themselves, they were a kind of tool in your transaction business or your transfer business.
Yeah, it helped me a lot. Yeah, because you can move money around the boundaries easily. Yeah, you can actually be swapping it to any euro, dollar, anything. Yeah, you just manipulate it to the way you want. Yeah,
that's really great. So I guess that's one problem solving itself. Or you just used, I guess the way you were able to innovate was you being able to use the tools that are readily available to you, and you infused it to your problem solving capabilities.
Exactly.
And then you made the service available to other people who are out there.
Yeah.
Right, which is actually amazing, and I'm actually happy to hear that. And that's what we try to preach here on Altbloc, where we try to itemize tools, technologies that are available to us. I mean, a lot of scams, like Collins has said, a lot of scams are out there, but it's about the value. What is the value proposition of whoever is marketing whatever strategy to you? If an innovator comes to you and tells you that he has a value proposition in terms of transfers, sending your money, you want to send your money from a country to another country, and it's going to make it simple or easy for you, converting your physical cash into digital cash. And his strategy is, harnessing the exchange rates through forex and cryptocurrencies, and the speed of transaction with cryptocurrencies, sending those monies outside or anywhere, so to say. That's a value proposition in itself. But I am very, very sure that most of us listening to this right now would have experiences where the value proposition is not so great, but for the fact that there is an idea that you're going to have a surplus in income or an exponential growth in investments, it's a facade that a lot of people have capitalized on. And I hope we actually take notes and we try to change our mindset towards how money is made. Money is made by the value you create. One thing I will ask is, like as a student, how would you want other students like you, let's say here in Tlemcen or in Algeria, to perceive the digital economy, and how would you want them to understand it?
Okay, the digital part of this crypto and everything, it is so much that we don't know about, and so much that we have not yet touched or even thought about. So it is worth it paying some attention to it. Yeah, it might actually end up changing your mind. And then the next thing, when you get an opportunity, just utilize it. Yeah, at times it doesn't come every day. Yeah, opportunity just maybe knocks once. So if you get it, just make sure you use it to an extent to your advantage, but also make sure you help those around you. Yeah,
that's actually a great point right there. I mean, looking at opportunities and making good use of them. And digital economy, I guess digital economy is the opportunity you're referring to. So that's a good one. Have you come across Web3 and blockchain, or what can you say about Web3?
I'm actually excited about Web3.
Okay.
Even though right now, most of the coins that are supporting it, to some extent, they have crashed because of the Bitcoin, because they follow the Bitcoin.
Okay.
But I'm so positive that in the near future, it will be more decentralized, and everything will be on another perspective. It will be on another level. Yeah, and I'm so hopeful that it gets there.
I mean, okay, you made mention of some cryptocurrencies or some digital currencies that are currently experiencing some price crashes. But one thing I know for sure is the technology is still very much functional. On some blockchains like the Ethereum blockchain, and a few blockchains that are still very functional, where you have the opportunity to get. I'll give an example of a Web3 concept, right? Where you have the opportunity to get a domain name that is mintable, a domain name that is an NFT, which means it's kind of mintable on a specific blockchain, and you own that domain name forever. Which is in direct contrast to renting domain names that people do these days on the current Web2 that we operate on. Imagine you buy a domain name every year or every 6 months, depending on
you have
position.
to pay for it so that it will be kept as valid.
Exactly. On someone else's computer or someone else's server that is positioned in one spot. But now thinking of Web3, where you own a domain name and you own it forever, and it is on a blockchain that is decentralized, where it is available in different parts of the world. And in that instance, that whatever information you are putting or whatever service or product you're advertising on that website is going to last forever, so to say, and it's going to be secure to the highest form because, it's decentralized. There's no one way someone can actually hack your website. Think of businesses that currently run in a Web2 interface where they're able to hack those websites because it is located in just one server.
Exactly.
But if an attacker comes to attack a website that is on Web3, it's going to be really, really difficult.
The fact that it is decentralized actually means that you can store your important details there, your documents there, and you can feel safe. Unless you share the details to someone, there is no way of anyone maybe bypassing you and accessing them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually a really, really good one. So now looking at Africa and looking at blockchain, do you think blockchain can help Africa economically? Do you think so?
It would help so much if we focused on being digital rather than fighting for some other things that we do. Because we are mainly focusing on the wrong positions. And to some extent, we as Africans, the unity, to some extent, we don't have so much. That one is one of the faults, but it is as if we wait for the Europe and everything to just try something, come to help us when we are submerging ourselves in just our games. If we were maybe more focused like the China to some extent it is separating itself. At a young age, their children, they are taught about these things. They are also encouraged. In Africa, you'll be encouraged to become a doctor. You'll also be encouraged to become just the book stuff. It is the way to heaven or to the way to wealth. But in reality, if you check it out, entrepreneurship, digitality is what is the way to the future. Because someone will be streaming maybe music. I hear you are a music producer. Someone will be streaming music at night. The owner of the music is sleeping, but because you streamed, when he wakes up, is $1 more. So to some extent, digitalization of everything should be our main concern as Africa.
That's actually a really good point. Digitalization of everything, because most at times, first digitalization and then a digital concept where there's actually a proof of work, a proof of concept or a proof that this actually is true. Is a true representation of the physical format or physical form, because that's one way I feel we can actually curb concepts like corruption. You see, when things are digital, and I'm aware that this is going to last forever. I have to actually state the facts, and it has to go through a lot of processes. Then, if we're able to successfully digitize our economy or digitize, most of our existence as Africans, that solves that problem of history. Because we don't want history to repeat itself in such a way where the next generation of Africans come up, or the next generation of Africans, so to say, come up, and they are lost or dumbfounded on the actual history of how they got to exist. How they got to imagine there's a catastrophic event that happens to the world or that happens to Africa. What way can we recover the history? Have we even saved the history? That's the question we would have to ask, these are little things, these are little tools around that are currently, little innovations that are currently coming up that we should actually harness. Imagine Africa owns its own blockchain, that is actually functional in different countries in Africa. Each node is functional in each country. There are different nodes in each country. We can do this. We can come together. Africa in itself, we are already together, It's just to think of an innovation for Africa. and then we can actually do it for Africa so that we can transform ourselves innovatively to actually partake in the digital economy, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to go too far on this particular episode. Do you have anything to really add on the conversation so far?
Maybe I look forward to an Africa that would be having one common currency, when the people would be working together as one big nation, even though maybe with the states, maybe Kenya would become a state, the countries would be turned to states, and Kenya, the whole Africa as a continent would be one big maybe country using a specific digital coin as their currency, one stable digital coin as their currency. It would make trading with each other easier. And most of the resources, because we as Africans we have them, the only difference is that maybe they are produced in Congo, they are just needed in Kenya, or they can be manufactured in Kenya, they have to be used in North Africa. That makes it a little bit complex. Because like the southern part and the central part, they produce a lot of coffee. In the northern part, they consume a lot of coffee. But apparently, it is so hard to trade between the bottom there and up here, because corruption cannot be cut out. The people here, up here, the North Africa, maybe they already have their people who can be giving them a slice of what they are getting. So they will keep on importing maybe from India or somewhere else. Whereas there are some Africans there down who are selling it maybe at a cheaper, it is better quality, but because of that difference and they want to use the long route so that they can have something in their pocket, it ends up becoming expensive. So if we traded as one Africa and everything became simpler, it would be a top notch. It would be a win-win situation. They have energy, maybe we can take it down to a country that doesn't have enough energy. It will be so advantageous. So digitalization of maybe a common currency across Africa would be one step ahead.
That's actually a good point right there. It's a way to, you see, it's really good that you actually think this way, the fact that, how we can perceive Africa as being one, they're actually actualizing that and, push it forward. You said, trying to infuse our economy in terms of the exchange, trade, item of trade, so to say, if we put one single item of trade between Africa, the African nations, it's going to go a long way in terms of simplifying trade and simplifying, exchange, and at the same time boosting the economy of the joint Africa. Still on that issue of what's it called, one currency, or even the idea of putting Africa's currency on the blockchain. Have you heard of CBDCs? Central bank digital currencies.
Yes,
you've heard of them.
And
what do you think? Do you think it's a good thing for every country to have a central bank digital currency?
It is advisable, but now the problem is its production and the people controlling it are the same. So they're just making it is just like highlighting your copy and paste. The like Naira. They said they were producing new Nairas, but they just went and edited the old one and they produced them back to the and they said it would costed them billions just to edit the money. So to some extent it feels the same will be replicated if it is going to digitalization. As long as maybe it is not something that is on a continental scale, something that needs more attention to it, because people have other people in the pocket, so they give you the tender to do the digitalization of the coin, and then later on they will use it. So to some extent it is not advantageous. Not the way it should have been. Because the people who are behind it or pushing the agenda, they have their own agenda
towards it. So do you say that defeats? Because for me personally, I would say CBDCs are a step closer to, integration for Africa in terms of having one currency that Africa can work with. To an extent, because CBDCs are on the blockchain. But at the same time, also depends on the blockchain. But blockchain technology makes it easy to integrate between several currencies. Right.
That is one step ahead. The problem is the people who are behind it. They have a different agenda.
That's a point right there. I mean, it's true for the fact that even looking at the fiat currencies and the already corrupt mindset that is, being tackled or that's being displayed in our already existing fiat currencies. What is to beg the difference, or what is to show us that actually, a digital currency or a digital representation of a country's currency wouldn't play the same role, or even, exponentially expand the role corruption plays in our economy, right? Because if the same set of people who are corrupt still create a digital currency, it just makes it faster to be corrupt and makes it easier to be corrupt. And that's the point right there. I guess that's another problem we should try to see. Or better yet, we should have people who their mindsets are targeted towards the people to actually be in position of leadership, because those are actually the people whose agendas that we actually need to fight for, agendas that look for the people, look at the people, towards the growth of the people and the growth of a nation, that's the agenda, the growth of a continent like Africa, that's the agenda we actually need to push for, and we should be supporting leaders that do that, because at the end of the day, we have the responsibility to actually choose our leaders, right? So we wouldn't want to go to political on our platform. We want to stick mostly to the
digital and
technology and the business ideas. And right here we have a really, really innovative mind here who is with us, who has been able to go through a lot of experiences around how to grow himself in terms of his entrepreneurial journey, starting from transportation, logistics, and then moving into forex, the idea, the information. You see, one thing we might have skipped in his story is the fact that he had a passion to learn. Knowledge is key. Like, knowledge is actually the most important thing. If you have a drive to be knowledgeable about a concept, you would know how to use the concept to solve problems. And that's one thing I was able to learn from you, actually. And yeah, it's a good thing. So he moved from transportation and logistics into forex, and then forex was assisted by cryptocurrency. What's next for Collins at this point?
I don't know. The future holds a lot. We just have to keep a positive. The positivity within us should be, and open to learn, because any day, any time, you can get something new and it will be blasting.
Value over value is what I'm bringing to the table. Purple, black and white, that Altbloc is the label. I educate my mind so I could educate my people. I'm staking all the ethers from the training I invest.